Hello. Hi. Hello. Hey, y'all. I missed y'all. Okay. I know I've been slacking on the podcast episodes, but that's all right, though, because y'all still gonna get them. I ain't quit yet. I ain't quit. I ain't quit. I can't even say yet because I ain't gonna quit. How about that? How about that? Just like I don't want you to quit on your goals, I'm not gonna quit on mine. Speaking of goals, that is what we're going to talk about in this episode. So, I was reading Woman Evolved by Sarah Jakes Roberts for like the 15th time. I've read that book so many times. It doesn't make any sense how many times I've read that book. I'm pretty sure I know it by memory at this point. And currently doing the Bible study, which is absolutely phenomenal. But I was reading it and came across the idea of short-term goals and long-term goals, right? So, how many of us, show of hands, even though I can't see y'all, just raise your hand anyway, have long term goals? Okay. How many of us have short term goals? Okay. How many of us have short term goals for our long term goals? Hmm. Do you have short term goals for your long term goals? Because here's the thing, we create, and I've done it, and I had to go back and look like, wait a minute. My short-term goals have nothing to do with my long-term goals. They were completely different. And I didn't create short-term goals for my long-term goals. And that's why I want to do this episode, take baby steps. It's okay to take baby steps. So your baby steps are your short-term goals that will lead to your long-term goals. So when you're analyzing your goals, you may have this long-term goal of you want to buy a house, right? But in order to get there, you have to save, you have to work on your credit, you got to find a good real estate agent. Shout out to Tamisha Wells, that is my real estate agent. You got to go through the process. There's short-term goals that are going to lead you to ultimately buying a house. You can't just wake up and buy a house. Or you can't just not do anything for 5 years and then boom, get a house in a week. It doesn't work like that. So if you want to purchase a home, then you have to create short-term goals that are going to help you get to that long-term goal. Like, I'm going to save this amount a week or a month or whatever your savings, come up with a savings plan. You have to, if you have debt, you got to come up with a plan to pay off your debt. If you have a lower credit score, you got to come up with a plan to raise your credit score. You have short-term goals to reach this ultimate long-term goal. For those of you who are interested in creating businesses, your long-term goal is, I want my business to make this amount of money. That could be one of them. In this amount of time. So maybe like $1 million in 10 years or whatever your goal is. I'm just throwing stuff out there. In order to reach that goal, you have to have short-term goals to get to that. So first you have to actually start the business. You got to get your LLC or your DBA, got to get your business bank account. You got to get an accountant like me. Hi, me. That's me. Yeah, that's me. I can help you with that. You have to, if you're selling the product, you got to purchase the product. You have to do marketing. You want to do, one of the short-term goals can be, I want to have this amount of followers on social media by this date. You have so many goals and steps, baby steps that you have to take to get to that ultimate goal. So I don't want people, like, when you don't reach the long-term goal, don't look at it and be disappointed, because did you set short-term goals? And when you reach those short-term goals, celebrate. Don't just check it off the list. Oh, okay, I did that. Okay, I did that. Baby, let me tell you something. Lip smack. Okay, tongue smack. Baby, let me tell you, don't make me get the nails on y'all. When I got my LLC, it took me, Lord have mercy. I'm giving you a testimony. It took me 5 years to get my LLC. I had my DBA for the longest, baby, but that $300 just would not come. That $300 for that LLC in Texas would not come. It took me 5 years. Baby, when I got that LLC, let me tell you, I was excited. excited. I borderline had a party with myself in my house. That's how excited I was. Just to see it on a piece of paper. I was like, oh, your girl got an LLC. And guess what? Now I have 3 of them. So that's what I mean when I say celebrate. When I opened my first business bank account, I was like, I got a business checking account. Like, oh my God, I'm legit. When I started selling my first set of books, when I started getting new clients for editing and publishing services, when I started getting new clients for accounting services, every client I get, I celebrate because that pushes me closer and closer to my goal, which is to have a certain amount of money or for my business to be in a certain place in a certain year. I'm not going to give y'all the details, just that's what it is. Um, Even with TTM been around 7 years. That's my nonprofit. I have a long-term goal for TTM, which is that it will be for the number one mentoring nonprofit in the state of Texas. And then eventually I want to branch out to other cities. I want TTM to go like further. I want it to be in Atlanta. I want it to be in Chicago. I want it to be in New York. I want it to be in different places. So that's like a long-term goal for me when it comes to TTM. But in order to get there, we have to master in Houston first. We have to become more well known, because I will say we are well known in Houston. We have to start in Houston, then expand to Texas, and then from there we go into different states. There's baby steps that need to be taken. If we don't get to other states until 20 years from now, I'm okay with that. As long as we're showing progress, and we have showed so much progress. We went from me being in debt, paying for everything with credit cards, to getting donations almost every week and getting grants and being recognized, being awarded. My babies, I'm not gonna even use this time to brag on my babies. That's gonna be a whole nother episode. But the kids, the youth have prospered. I have people who have graduated that's grown now. Like, there are so many things that have happened. So we have to celebrate those small wins and take those baby steps to reach the long-term goal. Because if I've done it, I know you've done it. We have our list of short-term goals and our list of long-term goals, and they're completely opposite. Like, they're not even related. Instead of us making long-term goals, and then so I want you to this is what I want you to do. This your homework. I want you to write out your long-term goals, but I want you to leave some space underneath. And I want you to put bullet points, or you could do 1 through 5, however you want to do it, 1 through 3, at least 3. And I want you to write out at least 3 to 5 short-term goals to help you reach that long-term goal. So that is your homework. Whatever your long-term goal. Now, that's not to say get rid of your short-term goals that you already have. No, those are still goals. Goals are goals. But I want you to list your header, which is your long-term goal, and then I want you to have your short-term goals underneath it. I want you to do that for me. Do it, I say. Cause I've done it. I did it. And it was like, oh, okay. That makes sense, because it also becomes a guide to help you get to that long-term goal. Because you can't get to a long-term goal. You can write it down all day, but you have to write down the steps you're going to take to get there. Like when I mentioned purchasing a house, what are your steps you're going to take to get there? You can't just have 5 long-term goals. I want to purchase a house. I want a new car. I want my business to succeed by this much. I want to have, even if you say I want to have a 750 credit score. Okay, so what are you gonna do to get to that 750 credit score? I want a 750 credit score in a year. Okay, so what does that mean? If you got debt, you gotta work on paying off your debt. You gotta work on, you got inquiries, you got negative collections, you got shout out to Valerie Wills, Credit Diva. Just want to throw that out there. Phenomenal ethics and credit, baby. Let me tell you, trust me, I know firsthand. But you have to list out all the things that you're gonna do to get there, and then celebrate your small wins and celebrate your baby steps by, let's say you at a 634 and you go up to a 640. or even a 636. Baby, celebrate. Every point counts, okay? If you go up 2 points or 20 points, celebrate. It's good that you need to track your credit anyway, but baby, you 2 points higher than where you was at. And that just puts you one step closer, two step closer, three steps closer to reaching that 750 score. And these are all just examples. Everybody's different. Everybody's going to have their own goals. I'm just giving examples. And these examples are based pretty much kind of on what I've done. But it's okay to take baby steps. Like, don't just go head on full fledged trying to reach this long-term goal without taking the baby steps to get there. If you want to get to the top of the staircase, you have to walk up the steps to get there. You can't just jump over 20 steps to get to the top. You can't skip the steps to get to the top of the staircase. Unless your name is Superman or you got some kind of Marvel capabilities I didn't know about, you can't just jump to get to the top. Each step is a goal. So as you walk up that step, that's a goal. You walk to the next step, that's a goal. You walk to the next step, that's a goal. Imagine a staircase and each step is a goal. Okay? You're going up the steps. So as you go up the steps, you have reached that goal. Step number 1, down at the bottom. Done. Let's move to step 2. Step 3. Step 4. Before you know it, you're going to be at the top of the staircase. And that is where your long-term goal is. You will have reached it. Girl, you better listen here. Damn, that one hit me. That just came out of nowhere. Honestly, I told y'all I don't practice. I just preach. Listen to me when I say what I'm saying, because I said it. You got to reach the top of that staircase. But in order to get there, you have to walk up the steps. And sometimes you may even have to walk backwards. Sometimes you might step on something slippery, which is used as a hindrance in your life to get to your goals, and you might fall back to the step that you have already, the previous step behind you. Because sometimes you can't just walk up the steps. Sometimes you might have to fall back. Sometimes you might have to go backwards a little bit. But that's okay, because ultimately you're going to get to the top regardless. Unless you're going to stay there, which I know you ain't going to do that, because if you've been listening to me this long, shit, you know better. We don't do that around here. Okay? Don't make me come get you now. I don't know who you are. I don't know who listening, but I will find you. And if I find you, I'm going to hold you accountable, and it's not going to be nothing nice, baby. You better ask my people that know me for real. I pushes folks. I'm gonna be that person standing behind you and you about to fall back off the stairs, and I'm gonna be the one to catch you and push you right back on up. Gonna what you doing? I'm behind you. And more importantly than me, God is walking up that staircase with you. That's all you need. You just need God to walk up that staircase with you. Cause at the top is his ultimate purpose anyway. Man, I'm not finna listen here, baby. Girl. I be surprising myself sometimes with the stuff I be saying. But again, it's a gift from God. It's a gift from God. I thank God every day for my gift to motivate. Like, I get emotional sometimes thinking about it. I'm kind of having an emotional moment right now. I'm not gonna cry or nothing like that. But I thank God every day for the ability to motivate people without even trying. I didn't practice this. I didn't read books. I didn't do anything. It's like I just woke up with this capability. I just woke up and started talking. And it's like God woke me up and was like, hey, I need you to get up and this is what I need you to say. That's exactly how it happened. And I don't know how I do it. It amazes me sometimes. Like, it stuff just be flowing. And I'm like, this ain't because it's not who I used to be. I used to be the exact opposite. If you knew me back then, baby, listen here. I used to be the exact opposite. I didn't even know God when I was younger. So the fact that I can do that, like my long-term goal is to be an international speaker. But what baby steps am I gonna take to get there? First, start in Houston. Texas. I've spoken outside of Texas. I've spoken in Louisiana, Atlanta, all around Texas. And eventually I'm gonna grow and be an international speaker. I want to be on TED Talk. Baby, I'm gonna kill TED Talk. I just want you to know. But I have small baby steps that I have to take to get there. This podcast is one of my baby steps. So that's what I want you to do. Don't forget your homework. And if you want to share with me, my information is always in the description. But I'm excited that y'all gonna do this because y'all gonna do it. But until the next episode, that's what I got for y'all. And I will talk to y'all later. Oh, before I forget, happy Juneteenth, motherfuckers. It's Juneteenth off in this thing. Shout out to my African American community, my black people, my black folk, my ride or dies, my man. Listen, I can go all day, but happy Juneteenth, y'all. It's Juneteenth is our Independence Day. I got on. That's what my shirt say that I got on. But happy Juneteenth, celebrating all things black. Yes, God, I'm off today. Won't He do it? Yes. Now I just need to find somebody's party. Who barbecuing is what I need to know. Okay, who got the barbecue, the dominoes, and the drinks on deck? Hit me up and let me know. But for real, until the next episode, bye.